Okay, guys, let's review some SOHCAHTOA. Seriously, if there's one thing you better know how to do from IM2 is SOHCAHTOA. It's going to come up again next year in IM3. So here we go. So here, as you can see, I have a right triangle. It only works with right triangles. We can't do Pythagorean theorem because we don't know this side. You need 2 sides out of 3 to do Pythagorean theorem. Our only choice is some old hippie caught another hippie tripping over apples. Good old SOHCAHTOA, right? So let's see what we have here. Notice they gave us a 70-degree angle. You should notice that X is my hypotenuse, so that's going to be my C side, but we'll just call it big H for now. And 27 being right next to it is called A for adjacent. So what uses A with H? Well, that's CA, right? And the C in CA tells me I'm going to do cosine of my 70-degree angle. And let's make sure we get the order right. It's always the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Now, notice how my fraction's upside down. So you're going to want to put a 1 here and cross multiply. Let's go ahead and do that. So I got X times cosine of 70 equal to 27. Now to solve for X, I'm going to divide by cosine 70. So X is going to be 27 divided by cosine 70. Let's do it on the calculator. Cosine 70 is 0.342. We take 27, we divide by 0.34202. There's our angle, or side, I should say. Round it off, guys. We're going to say 78.9, right? If this 4 was a 5 or higher, we'd probably round up to just 79. But I'm going to go ahead and say that this missing hypotenuse is 78.9. That's how it's done, guys. All right, let's go on to the next one. By the way, don't forget to make flashcards. All right, this time we're given the angle 64. Notice the 40 is O for opposite of it. X is next to it. That's big A for adjacent. We're missing the hypotenuse, but we don't need that. We have O, we have A. So according to SOHCAHTOA, by the way, this is written on the wall as well, in case you forget how to say it or spell it. What uses O with A? Well, that's TOA, right? See, the O and the A right there. And the T tells me I'm going to do the tangent of 64 degrees. And what is it? It's the opposite over the adjacent. Oh, our fraction's upside down again. So we're going to put a 1 here. We're going to cross multiply. And we're going to get this. X, you see, is going to be the 40 divided by the tangent of 64 degrees. Let's go to our calculator. If I do the tangent of 64, I get 2.05. I'm going to do 40 divided by that. And round it off, I'm going to say 19.5. So our missing side, X, is 19.5. You see, guys, when this is upside down, you end up dividing. If it was right side up, you would end up multiplying. All right, let's move on. Here we go. Let's look at 17. Notice it's a 45-degree angle there, guys. And notice we're given or asked to find the opposite. And we're given the hypotenuse. 24 is the longest side. Now, you could, by the way, if you know your special right triangle, try to figure out from there. But trust me, just do SOHCAHTOA in this case. Just do SOHCAHTOA. So here we go. So now what? Well, according to SOHCAHTOA, which one uses O with H? Well, this time it's sine, right? See the O and H there? Opposite hypotenuse. And the S tells me I'm going to do sine of 45 degrees. And what is the sine? It's the opposite over 24. Now notice my fractions right side up. So to solve for x, I hope you agree, all we need to do now is just times both sides by 24. So here we go. I'm going to do the sine of 45, 0.7071. I'm going to just times that by 24. If I round this off, because the 7 rounds a 9 up to a 10, I'm going to say that our missing side x has to be 17. All right, let's continue on. How about 19? We're given 59. We're asked to find the opposite of it. Notice 34 as adjacent. What uses O with A? The tangent of 59 degrees will have to be the opposite over the adjacent. Tangent is opposite adjacent. Notice it's right side up, so all I need to do is times by 34. Here we go. Tangent 59 times 34. The 8 tells me to round this 5 up to a 6. So x must be 56.6. 56.6. Okay? All right, let's continue on. Now, what happens if the angle is missing? We need to talk about that. So here's our missing angle. Let's call it x, little x, right? Notice 48 is opposite of it. The 50 is a hypotenuse. What uses O and H? Sine uses O and H, right? So I have the sine of our little x angle. And let's make sure we get the order right. It's the opposite over the hypotenuse, right? So I have 48 over 50. So we can now go to our calculator, guys. Here we go. We're going to do 48 divided by 50, 0.96. The key thing is I'm now going to do shift sine, right? I'm going to do sine inverse on 0.96, because remember, this value is the sine of the angle. When we do sine inverse on that sine of the angle, we get the angle. So as you can see here, rounded off, the 3 tells me leave the 7 alone. So we know this missing angle, guys, is 73.7 degrees. Again, how do you get rid of sine? You do sine inverse. On the calculator, you would do shift sine in this case. Okay. So that's why I did sine inverse. All right, let's take a look at this one here, guys. Here's our missing angle x. Notice the 60 is the hypotenuse. The 57 is adjacent. What uses adjacent hypotenuse? Cosine. So I know the cosine of my angle x has to be the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So what I'm going to do now is cosine inverse, shift cosine on the calculator on the cosine here. So first, we got to do 57 divided by 60. I get 0.95 in this case. Notice right here, I did shift cosine. That's cosine inverse on my 0.95. And round it off right here, guys. The 9 tells me to round that up to a 2. So my angle x has to be 18.2 degrees. And I believe that's the last problem I have set up for us. So guys, this, I hope you agree, is a nice thorough review. I'm hoping you're making flashcards and studying all the videos I'm posting this week. We have, again, a week or less than a week until the final. So get working, guys. Do not let yourself down. See you in class.